Hey guys, Eric from Seven Circle Hobbies. Hope you're staying safe out there. And in today's video, we're going to paint some Khorne Daemonnkin, and we're going to start right now. Let's just go ahead and get the sloppy coat down first. You just want to get this down. It's very bright red. It's a little hard to see on the camera, but it is super bright. I'm going to wash this whole thing with some dark tone, Army Painter dark tone. I'm just going to give this a very generous coat. Okay, so once the dark tone wash is completely dried, we can move on. Next, I'm going to block out all the hair using my standard neutral gray followed by a sky gray highlight. And I'm going to pick out all the little bone spikes here, all along here with the dark gray, and then bring them up to white and finish off the brass collar and then do the base last. Alright, I'm going to knock out this base. If you want to see how I did it originally, you can watch my very first episode on Daemonic tutorials. I'll put a card up at the top of your screen. Okay, so then the next thing you want to do is pick out all the horns and teeth. I'm using Vallejo Cold White. Now you could also do like your standard bleached bone and then a highlight after that, but I really wanted these to stand out, so I chose to go with a pure white here. Okay, so we still have to do a little bit of the base. I'm going to get these eyes picked out, do the collar. That's how it's looking so far. Okay, so I'm just going to use some Vallejo brass to pick out the necklace. Okay, so if you're anything like me and your eyesight is not so great, one trick you can do to get the eyeballs in, you can use like a very, very fine paintbrush, like a 00, or you can try and use the tip of a toothpick. Okay, so the toothpick was a total epic fail. Scratch that. I was digging through my brushes, and I remember I had this guy here, the Psycho, and it is just an ultra thin brush. It's like a hair wide. It's hard to even focus. So I got my other squad, just a dab of the paint, got it right in the eyeball socket on the first try. Either way, eyes are tough. Okay, so I went back and touched up the eyes a little bit. The toothpick thing was an epic fail, but most of the times it works out pretty well. So you're going to need like a really tiny thin brush or toothpick, depending on the size, to get in that eye. You gotta have a real steady hand. Anyway, just need to do the base now. And you could call this tabletop ready, but I'm going to go in. I'm just going to do a little bit of layering, especially on the areas where the muscles are raised right in front, where you could see light really hitting them hard. I'm going to do around the edges of the eyes and on the ears, a little bit on the nose, And then I'm going to call this guy done after I do the base. Alright, so I went in and added some red highlights there. My camera might not be good enough to pick up the difference here, but where my paintbrush here, where these muscles are, just added a little bit more red to make the darker colors pop. Especially, you can see it like it's coming from a light source, especially if it's coming front on. I hit the nose and the ears. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of the next color up on the nose. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to. Alright, to make that Daemonic base, I'm just going to take my Tamiya X27 and add a little bit of black paint. I don't have a specific ratio, you just kind of have to eyeball it. That was a little too dark. It's coming out pretty dark. Maybe just a drop or just a drop of black. Will probably do you to get that dark red texture. That's going to do it for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and take care of yourselves out there. Very serious issues that we're going through as a world right now. Be kind to each other. Stay indoors. Hobby. Remember, there's always room for one more soul in the seventh circle. See you next week.